Well, thanks for staying with us here on Market Day Report. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you're safe and warm where you are. We do appreciate you tuning in. We now continue our countdown of the top 10 ag law developments from 2025. From property rights to input regulations, there were a number of legal issues that could impact farmers and ranchers in the year ahead. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now for more on this, and we continue our list. We love you doing this. Always a pleasure to have you. Today, we start with the top three, the concept of lawfare, which became a central theme in American agriculture last year. Tell us about the highlights here, Roger.
Yeah, good to be with you, Suzanne. This comes in at number 3 on my list. I think the highlight in 2025, I guess if you can use the term highlight in this context, and of course, what we're talking about when we talk about lawfare is the use of the legal system to intimidate or financially exhaust an opponent. And I think the lead case on this in 2025 was the Charles and Heather Maud case out of South Dakota. That's the case where the Biden administration had prosecuted them criminally on a border dispute involving a 25-acre parcel of land and a fence that had been there over 75 years, and a 25-acre parcel of federal land on the grasslands, the Buffalo Gap National Grasslands. And they got prosecuted criminally, not just civilly, but criminally. And then we had a change in administration, and the president instructed Secretary Rollins to remove the criminal charges. And now the case is still ongoing. It has not been finalized, but they're dealing with how to set that boundary and how to basically divvy up that land and whether they have to pay for it and how much they have to pay for it. But that was the prime example of what happened in 25.
So still clearly an impact on farmers and land management agencies with this still kind of in the court system. So it's not been completely excused.
That's right. Yeah, we're down to, there's a federal law that was passed a number of years ago, actually a few decades ago, known as the Small Tracts Act. And that's involved in this and negotiations over who gets to farm what and what is the federal land, which is what the original dispute should have been over. There should have never been criminal charges that were brought.
Let's move on to number 2 on your list, a recurring item that always seems to make its way on the list, the long-running saga of the waters of the United States. What were the main developments that we learned from 2025?
Well, the main developments on this one is that we have now a final rule. We're done with the comment period on that. That ended in early January. And we're down to finalizing the rule that will sync up with what the Supreme Court said in the Sackett opinion in May of 2023. And basically, I think the salient points for agriculture real quick is that groundwater is removed. And so you can't have the federal government coming at you on an alleged WOTUS claim with respect to groundwater. There has to be continuous flow of the surface water, and that continuous flow has to be connected to an actual water of the United States. So your ditches are removed, just ephemeral streams that have sometimes water in it. Those are also removed from federal jurisdiction. A lot of good things in there for agriculture.
Your expectations for this final rule once and for all, what would you like to see here? How do you think this is going to play out?
Well, I think there are some issues that they're going to have to scope out in the final rule, and this is what I've got my eye on with respect to seasonally wet areas. It has to be a truly wet area. So how they define that in the final rule is going to be key for us in agriculture.
All right, Roger, always a pleasure. Thank you for doing this for us. We do appreciate it. That's Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law.